might have bitten off more than I can chew. I literally just got off the friggin' water.
So I gotta find a campsite really quick.
Woo. Got my dough. Kaia, you forgot your paddles. Got one. So I can't find her. I haven't heard her at all. I don't know what to do. This is what you gotta be careful with. Woo! On the last episode of Ontario Woodland Adventures, I left my beautiful campsite on Clydesdale and headed towards Penn Lake. The portage routes, although short, were very treacherous. Many bumps, twists and turns, and slippery rocks made for a not-so-fun time. A little wet. But that's okay. Big spider. Big spider. Doing this twice really sucks. Next trip, you have to find a way to manage everything such that everything fits in one bag, or one bag and one smaller bag. Okay, in the midst of this dam, there's a spot right here that pulls up a bit, so I'm gonna try and fish it. Let's see how it goes. This dam was really quite something. I couldn't help but take a nice break and watch the water tumble over the rocks. It feels like heaven. I have just arrived on Penn Lake, where I will be staying for one night. The air was dead, temperature around 25 degrees, and no sun. Some of the best kind of canoeing weather. Since it was still early, I wanted to search for the right campsite. I saw a few coming in that I wanted to explore. One in particular looked truly awful, and I wanted to see if my spidey senses were correct. That campsite got a big nope from me. It's funny, I saw it on my way in, and I'm like, that campsite looks so bad. But the problem was as soon as I got in there, I was swarmed with flies, and the place looked very poorly maintained. It felt like when you find a forest near your house that people have gone to and partied at, and it's kind of messy, just there's no structure to it. But I've lucked out because the wind is pushing from my back, so it's pushing me down Penn Lake towards rock, which was the opposite what it was on when I arrived here. It was pushing on my back, helping me get to Clydesdale. Interesting how that works out. All you can do is thank God. Kaia and I took some time to relax after a long paddle. We let the wind take us down the lake towards the northern tip of Penn Lake. Kaia was hurting for a nap, and our stomachs were rumbling. However, there was a couple more sites I wanted us to see, since there was no chance that I was staying at that last site. Okay, there's my canoe down there. Gotta go up this tiny hill. And then here it is. These big old trees, look at them. Wow, I still have not had one bug on me. Cool. Well, no shortage of wood around here, that's for sure. Campsite shopping. This one isn't bad. I don't mind it. But I know there's going to be better out there. In every one of these, there's always little grills like that, so. Oh, someone was here. This is still hot. I could start a fire on that right now. Oh, crap. I gotta find a spot before this rain hits. I can feel a cold wind coming and I can see clouds rolling in. So I gotta find a campsite really quick.
Luckily, I saw some folks leaving their campsite on the island, so I was able to paddle over and take the site for myself. Here's a walkthrough of the site and its surroundings. I want these videos to help you understand what the campsites are like and help you decide where you want to stay if you were to take this trip. The site is definitely perfect for larger groups, although because it's an island, there is not a lot of wood, so being in groups will be very helpful for collecting deadfall elsewhere.
This is why you always gotta water down your fire pit before you leave. So I didn't light anything, I didn't do anything. All I did was I grabbed a handful of stuff like this. I poured it right on top. And I gave it a quick blow. And it's a fire. Now, a handful of that stuff can emulate a dead tree up there, breaking a couple limbs or breaking a whole branch and falling on there. The air I blew into it can emulate the wind coming to us. A fire like this happens, a strong wind happens, or part of the wood crackles, jumps, and lands on anything, and that's how a fire gets started. So I stopped at 3 different campsites on my way here, and 2 of them still had hot coals, hot enough that I could make a fire on. It's a little crazy. It makes you wonder how many campsites out there have fires left unattended, just burning away. And it's rare for it to happen, but under the right circumstances, that's how forest fires start. So I got to this campsite just before 11 o'clock. It's about 5 or 10 after 11 now. I got my tent over there. It's underneath a bunch of trees. In case it rains, it'll shed all the water. The wind's picking up a bit, but the weather is perfect. So this is what I got Kaia. This is a little, little tester for the dog to see if they like it. It's from Boreal. It says feed your pet as their ancestors were fed. Kaia is kind of a unique mix, and it normally takes her a little bit to eat. Just gotta look at it, mosey around, but she'll come to. Sounds like my water's boiled. Well, yep, Kaia's munching down on it. Okay. Kaia's going ham for her food, so that's good news. Water's all boiled up again. Healthy. All the squirrels are barking at Kaia, giving her a hard time. But Kaia's tied up right now. Don't need her running off. Beautiful. That is a welcomed sight. Oh, baby. I've been waiting for this whole trip. The very first day when I got to camp, this was what I was going to make, and I said, no, you know what? I'm going to save it for Thursday because it might rain and I might be cold and I want some nice soup to keep me warm and make me feel like I'm at home. Oh yeah, very good. Ah, yeah. Got me a big old perch. Whew, we eating good tonight. These bad boys. Can you see them? They're watching the master fish. We're living in the dinosaur era, just surrounded by monsters. This was the lure I used to catch that perch. Look at the hooks. There's only one realistic hook. Time to change her up. When I was at home, I built this little guy. So I used just a moose head cap and put all these things on it. I'm gonna try it out one of these days. So here's what I have. I have these. This is the thing I built. This is the thing I was using right here. I have this for deep water. I got this for, I think, bass, but apparently there's no bass here. This little froggy. And then I have these, which are all just like spinners, and I might throw that on and try that. And then aside from that, I have just a little thing here full of hooks and 2 bobbers. Well, let's try it. Let's see what we can get. I have a feeling this is a good spot. I got a whole whack of rocks right in here, and then it's just a big drop. So let's hope it works a bit better for me. Oh. Okay, getting out of the water. I felt something on my foot and it was a leech. Kaia, come here. I felt something on my foot. I wasn't bothered by it, and I looked down and there's a big old leech trying to latch onto me. So I'm gonna do what I did the other night. So I add lukewarm water. I'm just doing it all by eye, obviously. I don't know how much I'm gonna make. I like doing everything by eye. It gets too stressful when you go down and like cups, teaspoons, tablespoons. But I know the general amount of how everything should be, so it's a good amount of yeast. And so lukewarm water, yeast, and then to that mixture you want to add sugar. And now we want to let this sit. So here's what it looks like. There it is. I'm gonna give it a quick little stir, just because I'm just trying to follow everything that I did last time, because what I made turned out perfect. Now I'm gonna let this sit for about 20 minutes or so. While this sits, I'm gonna go fishing on the opposite side of the island. If you guys remember where that rock wall was that I had to go through, I don't know why that rock wall is there, just to slow down the current or something like that. So I feel like maybe on the other side of that rock wall there might be some good fishing, so I'm gonna try. Well, it's a good catch. Sorry buddy, you're just a little too small. Too small to go in my belly. I don't know what or who did this. Person or dog? Yeah, leave the evidence. That rascal! And he crapped himself. I'm not that scary, am I? That little shit. This bag was basically full. Chewed a hole right through it. There's like a handful and a half left. What a butt! And he pooped everywhere. My hands are all washed. Here's what the stuff looks like. Now, to that, I'm gonna add the flour and salt and pepper. Okay, so I got the flour in there. See, the rain clouds are coming in. So I'm adding my salt. And then pepper. This is a mixture of ground and cracked pepper. Okay. Oh, hope I don't get soaked. Now we're gonna mix it all in. Oh, and some water. Now we're gonna mix it all in. So you want your dough to start to look like that. That's nice. It'll definitely need some more flour, but it's starting to look pretty good. So when you start ripping apart the dough, you'll find spots where it's still moist. When you see that, add a little bit more flour. You want to make your dough so that it doesn't rip, or it doesn't rip that easy, right? So when it does, you gotta add more flour. You gotta add more flour, and you gotta let it rest a bit more. But you keep kneading it in. That's the key thing too. You gotta knead it. Gotta knead it. Do you even need that dough? The rain came on pretty good for a bit, but it stopped now. The wind's picking up. I was fishing for a couple hours, I think. Maybe an hour and a half, but my back sure does hurt. And you know, I came up to the conclusion that I'm only catching small fish because I'm not going deep enough, obviously. But with this wind, and I don't know what the weather's gonna be like. You know, every 5-10 minutes it changes, so I'm just gonna call it safe for today. Unless it clears right up, sun comes out, or even if there's just a little bit of cloud and no chance of there being rain, or not heavy wind like it is now, then I'll go out. I would love to catch a good fish, but as of right now, that's not really an option. Beauty. Now that I have the dough there, I rolled it into a type of ball. I folded it over itself. Now I'm just going to cover it and let it sit for a while.
I swear, I almost stepped on that chipmunk. Right before this turned on, almost got him. Ooh, blueberries. They just poured a little bit, but it looks like we're gonna be okay. Blueberries all here, cool. I'm gonna pick a couple right now. Boom, boom, whoa, yep. Oop. One more. This one's right here. Is that a good one? That's a keeper. How about here? Now, this is standard snake territory. So just don't get scared, because most of the snakes here are friendly. Well, harmless. But there are Massasauga rattlesnakes in Ontario. However, I think they are more on the western side along Georgian Bay, and we are more central, so there could be some here. I'm not a snake expert though, but always good to be wary. That's a nice fire. So once this dies down a bit, I'm gonna have a nice bed of coals that I can start cooking this bread on, or these buns, whatever you want to call it. Biscuits, buns, bread. Maybe I'll put some herbs on top of them too, and butter them up. I got butter and I have herbs, so maybe I'll do like herb knots, kind of like garlic knots, but I don't think I have straight up garlic. No, I don't, but I have herbs. Well, the thunder is rolling in. So here's what I've been doing in the meantime. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but it's gonna be good, whatever it is. So I'm just farming it like this. More and more and more. I got some oil, which I'm gonna put in here. So I'm gonna add some salt on top of this. Pepper. Okay, this is good and hot, but we want to find a spot where it sits nice and flat, and we don't want too much heat. So I think I'm gonna move around this a little bit. Okay, that's a bit better. So there we get a nice even. It's a little bit more to the one side, but that doesn't really matter. It's pretty good. So now we get our dough ring. Nice. Move it around a bit. That's beauty. And now we got Kaia's dog bowl. I downgraded her. She's got to eat off the rock now. Cover that. A general rule of thumb when you're cooking or baking on a fire, if you can hold your hand there for about 3 to 4 seconds, that generally means it's about 350 to 400 degrees. So in this case, it's a little bit different because it's on direct heat from below as well, but we're gonna try it. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's a little hot. Okay, so this should be okay. I'm gonna open it up in about 5 minutes or so. Then I'm gonna put some butter on it. And once the butter melts a little bit, I'm gonna put some herbs on it. In the meantime, we can heat up our chili. Okay, I moved it out of there a little bit because it seemed like there was way too much heat going onto it. Does that look good or what? Okay,
So let's add some butter to it and then the herbs. Nice. Okay, she's melting nicely. Now this is real butter, not margarine or Basil, whatever. So I don't have to put this on that much more heat. And then the herbs. Got a bag of herbs. And I'm just gonna add both a little bit more salt and pepper. Okay, I'm gonna put this back on and I'm just gonna wait maybe a couple minutes. So for chili, we got Uncle Ben's Southern Chili Sal, 2-bean chili sal with green peppers. This was 2 for $5. I think that's a great deal. If you see it for that, you should get it. And you're a backpacker, at least. Because this little pouch does a fair amount. And all you have to do is heat it up. So all I'm going to do is put it in my cup. My cup has a little bit of coffee in it, but that's perfect. And there it is. Isn't that amazing? It certainly looks amazing. That's for sure. Dinner and a view. Well, late lunch and a view. I'm so excited! Oh my God. Oh yeah. I'm doing that again. With that leftover dough, I'm doing this. Look at that. Nice and gold and crispy. On top, nice and soft. So you get that balance of crunch, softness, the sweetness out of the sugar. Add a little bit more sugar than regular. But then you got the savory flavor of the dough and salt. Somebody get me an outdoor cooking show. Oh my God. Can't handle that. It's so good. I'm gonna start a company. Food. Somewhere in the food industry. Just making these. It's gonna primarily be the bread and dough. And then the side is just what you dip it in. I'm sure there's none of those around. I'm making that ring again. Just ease it out. Thin it out. Connect them. You can do that. That's basically it. Whew. I'm sure you can hear it started to rain, so came under the tent. I'm gonna wait it out, see what happens. I got Bucko here. She's right passed out.
I couldn't resist a little after-rain paddle into deeper water for fishing. It's calm, the air is still, birds are chirping, and our spirits are high. There's nowhere else on earth I would rather be. The healing powers of nature are incredible. I feel like my spirit is being cleansed with each paddle stroke. All of my troubles and stresses are gone, and I have no worries. Something everyone should be able to experience, and I'm glad I get to share it with you guys. Promise yourself one thing. When this video is over, plan a camping trip this up-and-coming camping season. Plan ahead, do some research. I tell you, it'll be the best decision you'll ever make. And who knows, maybe it will give you something you've always wanted. And if not, then at least you can say that you tried. You can't get back your time, so it's time now to do something that will change your life forever. This has been such an amazing trip for me. It made me realize exactly what I want in life. With my fiancé, I want to purchase land in Northern Ontario. I want to give my future kids something that I never had. A forest to camp on, a lake to swim in, and a river to fish on for life. It sounds simple and cliche, but it's the truth. A little bit of a rainy mess here. I'm determined to catch a fish. A big good one too. Even if it kills me. With no luck fishing, I take my time heading back to my campsite to fill my belly with some delicious food and to enjoy my last night in the beautiful backcountry of Algonquin Park. Well, with everything soaked, I was able to use my skills to get me a fire going. Everything has been soaked because it's been raining for, well, on and off for about 5 hours, but it started pretty heavily about an hour ago, and it's just kind of stopping as of 5 minutes or so ago. But I got this going in the middle of the rain because I want to eat that bread. I got it all made up, so I gotta cook it now. I'm gonna make my dinner too. I think I got beef and mushroom noodles. So I have my bigger pieces of wood here because they're soaked. They're here just drying out. And then back there I have wet, just kind of lighter stuff just to poke at this every now and then. I gotta make that bread. Literally, not figuratively. I got my cup in there with 2 cups of water boiling for my meal. And I got this. I'm just drying out all the water because I'm going to be putting some oil in there. So don't want there to be any water in there. Then we're going to have my meal. That's what we got for dinner today. It's from Wise Company. Noodles with beef in mushroom sauce. Sounds great. And of course, we got my dough. So I rolled that and put it in the ring maybe a couple hours ago. And since then it's risen a little bit, so that's great. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's pretty good. Now, here we go. Some tea. Bam. Some bread. Bam. Some bread juice. Bam. Now, let's unveil. Ooh, it's nice and warm there. Feels soupy. Okay, well, noodles with beef in mushroom sauce. Says to add
2 cups of water. Boil 2 cups of water and add. I'd say not 2 cups. So what you got is soup. Very delicious soup. Oh, it sure is delicious. Here. You know what? That's just perfect. Okay, that's only about half of it. I'm gonna save the other half for later. But keep it zipped up. It'll be perfectly warm in a little bit. Oh. Oh. Look at that. Nice, crispy. So good. And this herb mixture, I just made it at home. There's dried parsley, dried thyme, dried rosemary, dehydrated and dried onions, maybe a tiny bit of garlic powder, and maybe a little bit of oregano, dried oregano. Oh man. Salt and pepper. You gotta make sure you lather on a little bit of butter though. Once it's almost done cooking, lather the butter on, a little salt, pepper, and then the seasoning, the herbs on top. Oh yeah, that's the way to do it. Okay, I'm gonna enjoy this and then build up the fire because I'm getting really cold. I got the fire going, just getting some more firewood ready. Because it is gonna get chilly. I'm a little chilly now, but it's basically just in my feet. So I'm barefoot. I just don't want to get my shoes wet, and my socks wet, at least this way. I can stay a little murky wet now, and then right before I go to bed I can wash them off with a towel. Quick as that fire came, she gonna die in a minute. You gotta spit your toothpaste far away from camp. Or in the fireworks too. Okay, well, everything in the tent is muggy. It's damp, it's gross, but Kaia and I are both tired. The only thing I can't find is Kaia's leash. I have no idea where it went. Time to listen to a lecture and call it a night. See you in the morning.
A beautiful morning awaited my departure. It felt like another great day to be on the lake. I take some time to admire the beautiful area that surrounds me. Most of the day yesterday was overcast, so it was amazing to see the place in the sunny weather. I had to put my rain fly out here to dry out because it was soaked after last night's rain. And I got a couple buddies. They came to bid me farewell. So because all the wood in the fire pit is super wet, I'm gonna be trying one of these. This is like a fire starter piece of tinder that you can buy at the dollar store, at any camping supply store. So the idea is you light it, and it's got some resin, and it's essentially like compressed cardboard. So it's supposed to take a flame, and it's supposed to hold the flame as well for quite some time. So if this works properly, it should be able to dry out some of the wood, and then the wood should be able to catch. Ooh, that's hot. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it is on fire. Now these are supposed to work even when they're wet too. No, it seems to be working pretty good. It was, I think, $2 or so for 12 of those sticks. Worth it to me. Today we're gonna have what I had before: pancakes, bacon, and oatmeal. I want to do the pancakes because that pancake batter is kind of heavy, so it'll free up some room and make stuff not as heavy. Whoops. There we go. A couple little chunks in there. Okay, the first one was definitely for Kaia. Second one, I've came to the conclusion that there wasn't enough heat, so I resituated the wood in there, lathered it up with some more butter, and I can see that it's bubbling. So now, let's try. Not too bad. Just gotta flip it, but it's breaking in a couple spots, so I gotta kind of break it up and then flip each part on their own. There we go. Mini cakes. Got Kaia breakfast. It's her dog food, a bunch of dog treats, a little bit of pancakes, and some bacon. So she's been a good girl this morning, so she deserves it. Good girl. And here's my breakfast: pancakes and bacon. Gonna do the oatmeal once I'm done this. I just don't feel like having it all together. Don't have enough room. Simple, yep, satisfying. Morning of day 5. It's almost 10 o'clock. I slept in until about 8:30 because I knew I didn't want to leave here until around noon, so I had no reason to get up extra early. But my back was sore. I was sleeping on an angle, and no matter what position I was in, I wasn't getting comfy. Okay, I'm gonna finish up breakfast and finish packing. That was the coolest thing ever. I just heard a huge tree fall. I heard it crackling, 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 and then that was sweet. Bye-bye. Kaia, you forgot your paddles. Okay, see you later, buddy. And we're off. Well, I had some pretty good luck all week with the wind, but today the wind is pushing against me, so it's going to be a little bit harder getting home today. But it's a good workout. And I don't plan on going too fast. I want to do some fishing when I get to Rock Lake. And yeah, just take my time. It's a beautiful day. The wind is against me, but it's not too bad. As long as it doesn't get any worse than this, I'll be, well, if it gets worse, it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna have to beat it, but yeah, this is very nice. I'm quite liking it. Well, look what I found. I found a whole whack of them here. There's a whole bunch everywhere I look, and you know, between the amount of frogs and crayfish, and now that I found these and the smaller fish, the minnows and everything, if I really had to, I could have survived a couple days on this type of food. Now, it's not like I would want to, but it just goes to show you that mussels are readily available. If I could, I would come here every day. You know what? I got an idea. Nothing's in my pocket. This was probably my favorite part of the trip. This little dam allowed me to rekindle my childhood. I haven't been to a spot like this since I was a young boy camping with my family. The water was nice and cool on this hot day, and I couldn't ask for anything else. Except maybe for some fish. Kaia, where are you going? No, come back here, you marmot. I decided to dry off bathing in the sun. I brought a grill and butane to cook for us beside the waterfall. It was a truly wonderful spot. Okay, finished with the last portage. This portage just solidified the fact that you need a real solo portage canoe in order to do these trips. Now, granted, I was able to do it, so it's possible. But it was very hard. And it was hard enough that I don't really want to do it again with a boat over 60 pounds. But hey, I'm done now. I'm on the home stretch. I'm on Rock Lake. I'm gonna be pushing it about 2/3 of the way, and then I'm gonna stop to fish because there's a good spot I want to try out. I already got my lure set. The winds aren't exactly on my side today, so I'm gonna try and sit close to the shore and see if that technique works. This is gonna be rough. Here it comes. This isn't good. I gotta go for it. I can't wait too much longer. Could get worse. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. I lost a lot of time and the wind's picking up. It's almost starting to give me white caps, and as you can see, it's pushing me off course. So I don't know if I'm gonna have time to fish there. Okay, the lake. There's white caps now on the lake, but they're coming from behind. But to my southeast is where the wind's coming from, and it's pushing me this way. And I don't want to go to my right. I want to go that way. So these white caps are more cappy than I thought they'd be. I'm putting a lot of effort into this. If you like pina coladas. I got one. Oh no. No. Oh no. Oh, I had one and it felt pretty good. Okay, let's try it again. I had one, my rod was bent. Oh, that felt so good though. Let's try it again. I don't think I had it set properly because my thing was a little too weak. Little ziggy, little zaggy. Okay, well, I am done-zo. Holy, that was one long ride, and it was so much fun. I'm so happy I did it. A little stormy last night, but hey, that is all good. It's all part of the being one with nature type of thing. I had a great time. The best thing about it was I was safe. Thank you guys for watching. If you're just tuning in, click the video up there to start from the beginning of my journey. I had a hell of a time. It was I've never been to Rock Lake before, so it was cool to see the campgrounds and the lake and all the other lakes around it. Unfortunately, the fishing didn't go as planned, but it's the way she goes sometimes. I didn't bring the right tackle. One thing that made this journey all worthwhile was when I got to the parking lot and unloaded all my stuff, I found this. See that? That's a free lure. Now this lure is gonna go miles. Well, I was talking about that lure and I hit a speed bump and I dropped it. And it went in between the car seat and the armrest, so it's basically gone. It's basically gone forever. I had high hopes for it, but this is what it is. If you enjoyed the video, I hope you press the like, and if you enjoy who I am, I hope you find it in your heart to subscribe and watch my other videos. Once again, thank you, I appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright guys, I know in the title it said I got to eat my fish. Well, here it is. The beautiful, beautiful fillet of fish from McDonald's. Oh man! And along with that, I got some French fries. And along with that, I got some hot and ready pizza. So I'm gonna enjoy this drive. Thank you very much for watching.